Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. To get started on our Oogie Boogie Man, we're going to take a flat angle brush and draw a pear-like shape around both eyes. We're going to block this in with black later, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Also block in the top of his head, which will end up looking a little bit like an ice cream cone swirl later. Well, not cone, I guess, just a swirl. Lay down a couple lines where his cheeks are going to be. He has a really wide, gaping mouth, so we're going to start to fill that in by creating his top lip. Make a squiggly line going all the way across your face. Make a U shape that comes all the way down past your own chin and halfway down your neck. You can now fill in the rest of your face, not your eyes or your mouth area, with color. Also bring that color all the way down to your armpit. Stop right when you get to your shoulder, that'll make sense later. On the other side, bring the line halfway down your arm and create a point that reaches up right where your armpit starts. Sorry, you might want to know what I'm using. That might be helpful. I'm using a split cake by Tag Body Art and Carnival. It's specifically to pick up UV light so that when you use a black light, it will actually show up. Since Oogie Boogie is a burlap sack, find something that can recreate this pattern. I ended up raiding my mom's old craft box, which had these extremely questionable coasters from the 90s. They're terrible. Sorry, I love you, Mom. But it ended up working out perfectly. When I wrapped it around my fingers, I used it as basically like a stamp. Lay down this pattern over all of the neon that you originally did. Also filling in the eye areas with the same black that I stamped in, which is the Graftobian Pro Paint series in Raven Black. Start etching out the swirl on the top of his head, and you can also start filling in the black area that's going to go completely around your whole mouth. And don't forget underneath your chin as well. To seal in the paint on your eyelids and for shadowing, I'm using the Graftobian Cosmetic Cake Eyeliner in Jet Black. And I'm creating shadows where I want a 3D effect. So I'm going to do that under the swirl, right on the side of it, and create his eyebrows that way. Use a fluffy brush for this, and then squeeze it when you want to make the lines a little bit smaller. Mark in a few lines underneath his eyes, and then squeezing the brush, mark out his teeth, which are just straight lines up and down. Use a fine tip brush and start drawing in the lines and the stitch marks right on the forehead swirl. Do you think I look pretty? Yes, I is pretty. Oogie's body is filled with bugs and worms, which we can paint to make it look like it's coming out of the seams. Using the pink from the same Tag Carnival palette, block in some of the little squiggly wormies, and I wanted to create a little different pattern for a couple of the worms, so I made little circles, leaving space in between them where I marked down the blue afterwards, and made a few little squiggly blue worms too. Start filling in around the worms with some black so it looks like they're coming through the tear, and make a couple lines going up towards your shoulders and above that as well to look like the tear's even more ripped. Draw in a couple of lines for the stitching too. Using your eyeshadow brush, come back in again and start creating some shadows. Do that underneath each worm to give them that 3D effect. And the stitches. Outline his whole arm by laying down a thick line of black paint all the way around. And also come down right in the middle and mark in your stitches. Now I use my left hand to paint this in, but you can always ask a friend or a family member to help you. Mark in on the other side as well where his arm's gonna be. I made it so that it's coming across my chest and then it's folded right on his forearm. I don't know if there's such thing as a cute chicken wing, but it kind of reminds me of one. Chicken wings. Bring down another line just like you did on the other side. Mark in his little armpit and bring in the stitch lines from the top all the way to the bottom. Come back in with your eyeshadow brush one more time and create the lines for the lower teeth and start marking in the folds that he has on his neck area. It's like 2 V shapes, one right under the other. Go back underneath all those stitches and his arm to give it, once again, that 3D effect. Don't forget to do that on both sides. Alright, here is our final Oogie Boogie character look from The Nightmare Before Christmas. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. You can find me on Instagram at BangleQueen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. Oh, I forgot to turn this light off. I'm sorry.